Hello, everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, a Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
And it is preview show. It is the weekly preview show. We'll be talking Panthers versus Saints.
You don't seem so sure there for a second.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. This is, we did not have a game today, so this is definitely the preview show. Week 7 in the NFL slate. And man, 7 weeks, Jerry. We've made it 7 weeks into the NFL season.
I feel like I just blinked, and all of a sudden we're here. I mean, what happened?
We wait. That's the thing about the NFL season, right? You wait that long off season, and then when it's here, and it just flies by every year, even this year.
Yeah.
All right. So today's game preview, we have a sponsor for the game preview, Jerry.
Whoop whoop.
Manscaped. Manscaped. You've probably heard of these guys. They are quite good at marketing, funny commercials all over the place. So today's game preview is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Jerry, they sent you and I, very graciously, the Lawnmower 3.0, the kit, right? So we got the razor. We got a couple of like creams, powders, I guess. Mm-hmm. A nice little carrying case and some boxers. And you can get all that yourself. And it's high quality stuff. Like, I was very pleasantly surprised with how nice the razor itself was. Like, it's got a little light on it. It's waterproof.
Yeah, it has a ceramic blade to reduce any accidents when you're trimming down there. So that's definitely good. I don't know about you, but I don't want any accidents.
Completely avoids all that. So nice, you're dolphin smooth down there if you want to be. And the battery, Jerry, lasts up to 90 minutes. I don't know who needs 90 full minutes to manscape their family jewels, but you know, I guess you could several times.
I guess if you have a pet bear, I mean, you can fully trim the whole bear without.
If you haven't trimmed since 1973, you might need the full 90 minutes. And right now, guys, if you want to order 20% off and free shipping for your entire order at manscaped.com, use promo code MeowMixPodcast. That's just all one word, MeowMixPodcast, 20% off and free shipping. They've got all kinds of stuff on that website, t-shirts, boxers. They got like nail grooming kits. It's not all about the below the waist stuff. They have some other things there too.
And also ball deodorant. Just saying.
Who doesn't need ball deodorant?
Exactly.
And this isn't like a talcum powder where you put it on there and you look like LeBron James starting the game off. This is nice quality stuff. So make your testes their besties. Manscaped.com, promo code MeowMixPodcast. Let's get into the game preview.
Yes. The Carolina Panthers, 3-3, traveling to New Orleans to face the New Orleans Saints, 3-2.
And this game will be at the Superdome. There was some question of that earlier this week. They thought the Saints were actually looking into moving over to LSU Stadium, I think, because the New Orleans will not allow them to have fans in the stands at this point. So, but the game will be at the Superdome at normal place. Let's kick it off as we always do with the injury reports. We'll start with the Saints. We'll start with the DNPs that did not practice. Taron Armstead, tackle. Nick Easton, center, with a concussion, so that may not go well for him. Benny Fowler, wide receiver, and J.T. Gray with deep back. For the full practice guys, Janoris Jenkins, corner, and Deontay Harris, wide receiver, and then Justin Hardy, Michael Thomas, both limited practice. Of course, Michael Thomas missed last week's game with a suspension, so not sure if...
Oh, no. Sean Payton has come out and said that wide receiver Michael Thomas's discipline is over and expect a full load from him.
Moving on to the Panthers injury reports, not looking too bad this week. Have no DNPs, other than the guys we talked about earlier that were put on the injury list. Dante Jackson, Zach Kerr, John Miller, and Curtis Samuel all listed as limited practice. Eli Apple, Trenton Cannon, and Mike Davis, full practice. So good to see Eli Apple full practicing again. And Mike Davis as well, who got a little banged up in last week's game. Good to see him with no limitations out there.
Yeah,
and then Curtis Samuel back on the practice field. That's a big one.
Yeah, I mean he's our Teddy's third down guy. It's very important. Saints are averaging 30.5 points per game, but they're also giving up 30 points per game. So they're right around even 30-30. So it's a toss-up. They're averaging 115 on the ground with Kamara and only 263 through the air. But again, it's Drew Brees. He doesn't throw God numbers anymore, but he is very efficient, and he has been making mistakes this year. Now on defense, they're only giving up 100 yards per game on the ground, and only 237 through the air. But again, 30 points per game, so somewhere those points are coming.
Yeah, they must be. Maybe they're turning the ball over a bit or something. The Panthers can score. We've seen that. Obviously, we ran into a bit of a tough defense last week, but you mentioned Drew Brees, and you're right. I mean, PFF has him ranked as the 21st ranked quarterback in the league. That is well below where you would expect someone with his pedigree, at least, to be. But they have, their skill position guys are ridiculous. Alvin Kamara is widely considered right now the best running back in the league, while CMC is out. Overall running back with, he's incredible in the receiving game. The Panthers always struggle against receiving running backs, so that's going to be tough. And then he's also getting it done on the ground as well. Of course, they've got Latavius Murray backing him up, who is no slouch at all. Michael Thomas, a lot of people consider the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah,
and then
when
Jared
he's not
Cook
suspended.
Jared Cook is a great receiving tight end. Never been known as a... Emmanuel Sanders is there. Yeah, so they've got, Emmanuel Sanders, not what he used to be, but very reliable, great hands kind of guy. So third down, he's your guy probably. Mm-hmm. And then they've got Traquan Smith, who is, a very fast, shifty wide receiver. So they've got plenty of weapons there on offense. They have a very good offensive line. It's going to be interesting to see how the Panthers attack that.
Yeah, hopefully Taron Armstead does not play. He's a very good tackle for them, very good in passing situations. Because I think hopefully, even though Drew Brees will get the ball out early, he doesn't get sacked. I think he's averaging 1 sack per game. He doesn't give up sacks that easy. He likes to get the ball out. But you can rush him in the passing game to make a little bit of errant throws. Again, Drew Brees, one of the best all-time accuracy. I'm not expecting too much bad passes, but he does throw them away a lot whenever he's pressured.
Yeah, and Taron Armstead is, I know I mentioned him in the injury report segment, but it's a hand for him is the injury, so I would expect he will play. Yeah, I know it seems like we always talk about, one of our keys to the game usually is getting pressure on the quarterback, and I think that obviously is going to be important here. But as you said, Drew Brees gets the ball out so fast. I don't know that our pass rush is going to be that effective in this game. So I really feel like what we should focus on in this game is stopping Kamara, stopping
absolutely.
Thomas, and letting the other people beat us.
I agree 100%. I think it's stopping Kamara and going Phil Snow's route of not giving up that big play.
Yeah.
So mostly stopping Kamara as much as you can stop someone like that. It's like trying to stop Christian McCaffrey. You just realistically you can't stop them altogether, but you can hope that hold them under 100 yards, 125 all-purpose yards, because they're so dangerous with those little dump-off passes, making a guy miss and going 20 yards.
Yeah, and that's going to be key is tackling, wrapping them up when you hit them. Don't just shoulder hit them trying to make the big knockout play. Like, take them down, because our defense right now seems to be built on not giving up the big play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Saints offense right now is short plays and just marching down the field, 10 to 15 play drives.
Yeah.
And that can beat us.
And I kind of curious if Teddy Bridgewater and Joe Brady either A, will give us a little bit of an edge here just because they are familiar with the New Orleans offense so well, or the vice versa. Is it going to be Sean Payton with the edge, knowing Teddy Bridgewater's tendencies or in what Joe Brady likes to do?
That is true. Now, Joe Brady will have a very intimate knowledge of that offense, maybe even more so, probably more so than Teddy, although Teddy being on the field. Yeah, that's a good point. I would assume that with Matt Rule, that offense is not going to be exactly what Joe Brady was running there in New Orleans. But I think the New Orleans offense is going to be very similar to what Joe Brady was used to there. So I think the edge would actually go to the Panthers coaching staff and Teddy Bridgewater in that matchup.
I hope so. I am a little bit worried about Sean Payton knowing Teddy Bridgewater pretty closely in practice, knows what he likes, and maybe they can disguise some of their defenses to cause him to make mistakes. But, you're right. I mean, we don't know, and hopefully the Panthers will game scheme it up. We do need to block Cameron Jordan. Very, very important. We've realized, or we've seen last week, what happens when too much pressure gets to Teddy Bridgewater. It doesn't go well for our offense. Our offense needs to keep him upright and not running for his life.
Yeah, Cameron Jordan, by far their best rusher. He is ranked 10th on PFF. And then David Onimata, interior defensive lineman, he's also ranked 10th for that group. So they've got a decent defensive line between those guys. Malcolm Brown also a very good player. So yeah, this defense is not, as we said, they're giving up 30 points a game. So it's not like the Panthers aren't going to be able to score on them. I think this is going to be a shootout, honestly. I think the Panthers are going to have to score a lot. They're going to have to score touchdowns. That's my key to the game. Score touchdowns. Touchdowns.
I chuckle, but seriously, Joe Brady, you have to get into the end zone. None of this running up the middle every time you hit the red zone. Keep doing what you've been doing all drive long. And that's, passing on first down, doing little out, sweeps and everything else. Don't just, we're in the red zone. We don't want to turn the ball over. Yes, we don't want to turn the ball over, but we need 7, especially against the Saints. The Saints are going to keep scoring. Our defense is improving, but the Saints are still one of the best offenses in the league.
Yeah, well, they've got smart people, and as we talked about earlier, are very highly skill players. But the Panthers' defense is very good. Brian Burns is now up to 7th in edge rushers on PFF. Zach Kerr, the guy that's taking over for K1 Short, is ranked 26th out of 118. So he's had when he's been able to play, he's had very good stats. And I'll tell you what, our secondary corners specifically, Corn Elder's ranked 15th. Dante Jackson is now up to 17th, and Rasul Douglas 22nd. So all of them in the top 25 in corners. That's excellent, and I've talked about it 1,000 times what we consider to be the weakness of our team coming in, and they have been lights out. They've been very good.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're going to need to be very good in this game.
And Eli Apple might be coming back too. He was slotted as the starter coming into this game, and now he's going to be 4th on the depth chart.
Another guy, by the way, who might know how to attack that New Orleans defense.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up, is Eli Apple's very familiar with that defense, and he knows some of the defensive players' tendency and how to beat them. Maybe that's another key component here.
Yeah, and then they've got Jeremy Chin. They switched him out of linebacker back to safety for some reason. So I'm not even going to worry about his rank.
Dude,
but I was going to ask you.
Just watch him on the field. There's a comment from Tahir Whitehead about how when they get in the film room, they watch number 21, Jeremy Chin, and that they say they watch him, and if you're not putting the commitment in that Jeremy Chin is on the field and not flying around, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. He's already that type of leader, of leading by example on the.
I was going to ask you, do you think having Jeremy Chin sort of shadow Kamara might be a way to help neutralize him in this
haven't
matchup?
Thought about that, but yes, absolutely. I think he should. With his speed, I don't see why not. I think it helped against Kyler Murray when he shadowed Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it's a different situation there, but maybe you put, Jeremy Chin is fast and strong and should be able to, as long as he's able to kind of diagnose and anticipate where Kamara is going to be, I don't think that's a bad idea. And actually, it's even better than using one of your defensive players to shadow a quarterback because you still have the player-to-player, advantage, the count. Whereas once a quarterback comes onto the field, then the advantage goes to the offense. We don't have to worry about Drew Brees rushing in this game. Let's talk offense for the Panthers. How do you think they're going to attack this New Orleans defense?
I know Mike Davis has been having great games except for last week. I just think it's going to go through the air, though. I think we're going to dip and dunk, but I also think we're going to hit a couple big ones over the top. I just think that's the way it goes. Sorry.
No, I agree. I think strength of the Saints is in the front seven. So let's go in the air. Let's let Teddy throw for 350 yards in this game.
Yeah.
Where do you think those yards are going to go?
I personally think Robbie Anderson's going to have, I don't want to say a breakout game considering he's already second in the league in receiving yards, but he's going to have a breakout game, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I actually think that DJ Moore, because it seemed like last week he sort of had his, and I'm going to steal your word here, breakout game. He had a few nice catches and they got him involved early and it sort of went away from him. I think the Bears were able to kind of get him bottled up a little bit. Plus he dropped a few balls, but I think he's going to come back. He's going to want to make up for those drops, especially that one in the end zone and then the one at the end of the game, which, you can debate whether or not he should have caught it or not. But I think he's going to come back with a passion and really play excellent in this game. I think he's going to be our leading receiver.
See, I think Robbie Anderson is. So, with
do
that
I smell something?
Beer bet of the week.
Smells like a cold Sam Adams. That's what it smells like, Jerry.
I'm local. I'll go with a nice, vanilla coffee blonde from Cabarrus Brewery. I have Robbie Anderson with more yards this week, and you have DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'll take DJ Moore, and I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Okay, good. Now, is there anything else you want to say before game predictions?
Yeah, just that I really want the Panthers to win this game.
I do too.
I feel like that would be a big feather in our hat.
I do too.
And a nice win for a young team. I'm going to go ahead and kick off our prediction, or my prediction at least, for this game. Panthers coming off a tough loss to the Bears, dealing with some injury issues, but they're going to come out firing. This is going to be a Panthers victory here. I'm calling it high-scoring game, 35-31 Panthers.
Nice. I am going to be the sad spoil sport. I am actually picking the Saints to win this game 30-27. I think you take the over on the over-under spread of 51 points. But I would not be shocked if Panthers pulled this off, and I definitely think that they cover.
We always seem to be going for the same prediction here. I'm glad we're different this time, and I can take the lead if the Panthers win in our prediction showdown, or you will take the lead, obviously, if the Saints win. So
I don't want to take the lead.
I hope you feel good about that. I hope you feel good about that, Jerry.